Okay.
Oh, there you are.
All right, you can
Hi,
start.
everyone. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So, thank you for your audio clips about religion. I went through them and I took just some brief notes I wanted to read, just to see if I got your key points. So, first is Pumei. Religion is a journey, trying to search for the truth, trying to find answers to questions such as why are we here and what our purpose is. And then you also brought up a really good point about religion and politics and how they're intertwined, and giving some examples of how this can be dangerous in diverse societies. You brought up, that's the reason why there is that separation of church and state, and it's really important to ensure peace and tolerance for all people. And then you touched on Buddhism and the many festivals and traditions and how they can create strong bonds within the community. And then Wathsala, I just took some notes. So religion is a belief system that helps us understand life, death, and the world around us. It's a personal journey to understand ourselves. You talked about the four main religions in Sri Lanka: Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity. You talked about how Buddhists practice meditation and how it helps clear your mind and helps to face problems without anger. It helps for a person to stay in the moment and not be stuck in the past or worrying about the future. And it helps with emotions like sadness and jealousy. So I just took some brief notes. So thank you. It was really good, your audios. So I guess we're going to continue today with religion. And I wanted to start with religion and politics. And Pumei, how you brought up they're intertwined. So do you have any examples in Sri Lanka where this has been an issue, where you've seen religion and politics in play together, where there's been issues with people?
Yeah, I saw some politicians face their elections. Then they went to the some temple and Temple of Truth in Sri Lanka, and they discussed how they going to do in when they be a president, and they discuss something how to grow up the country and get some advice for the monks, something like that.
Okay. So do you think that there is an issue when, so say you have a group of people in, well, Sri Lanka or any country, you have a group of people, but they all practice different religions. Do you think that that's when it becomes challenging, because there are so many different religions that if, say, a politician is taking a specific point of view about a religion, but not everybody practices that, do you think that's when there's issues and conflict?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. What's it?
You start, yeah.
No. You say.
Yes, religious always religious help us to kindness, and some it is help to create a rule how to rule our country. Always leaders follow it, but it's not at actually it's not practically happen. They kill others and hate others. Yes.
So it's
But
hard.
it is helpful for the human rights. They talk about human rights.
So do you think that religion can be negative?
No, it's positive thing, but they don't follow it.
So you think that people who practice their belief systems, do you think that sometimes they can misinterpret what they're really supposed to be saying? They can use do you think that people sometimes use religion in a bad way?
Yes, they always doing bad things.
Okay. So it's really the people, you think it's the people though, some of like just a small group of people, not the religion, not the practices.
Some people are practices. They some rituals like offering flowers, meditation, chanting. These they are follow these things.
Okay, so let's get away from politics for a second. You had brought up a meditation and you said how it really helps center you and it helps put you at peace. And so can you give an example? Because a lot of people haven't tried meditation. So I'm curious, like, so how do you go about it? Like, what do you do? Like, where do you, is there a certain place in your home or do you do it outside?
No, I do in my room, and sometimes I think about suffering, and sometimes I think about nature. Most of the time, I think about the nature and thank for the universe. I think it is release my sadness. Most of the time, I release that way.
Yeah,
How long does it? Oh, go ahead, Pumi. Go ahead.
Yes.
in here, some programs, meditation programs, doing some monks and some Buddhist organizations and participate the people for and the in the Poya Day, the temple organize the meditation programs and yeah, something like that. People are doing.
So I'm curious. I've done meditation before, and while I'm doing it, it's very relaxing and I can kind of center and focus. But I'm curious, how long does that feeling last for you after you're done? Does it go away quickly? Does it depend? Like if you're stressed about something or something happens, like how long does the feeling last for you usually? That feeling of peace.
Yes, I actually feel relaxed.
Person.
But you feel relaxed, but for how long? Like the whole day or
All day, yes, all day.
Okay. Pumi?
Yeah, it's like after meditation, like new person and thinking pattern, and we are think spend time, spend the whole day and try new things and very usefully. So and talk with others very politely and not going to argue with them. Something.
Okay. So how about your community and your different festivals? I want to know, with your religion, how do you give back to your community? I know that you have mentioned that you make meals. I remember, Watsala, you had showed us pictures. You had, I think, like the community came together, a group of people, and you make meals, and you, like, people come and you serve them. So can you explain a little bit, like, different types of things that you do for, say, the community, like people who maybe don't have that need help?
Yes, festivals are actually connected to others, other community. Sinhala and Tamil New Year, Vesak, and we all together celebrate, and also Christmas. Um, I remember when I was in when I was my childhood, every year I prepare a Christmas tree and share Christmas cards with relatives, and so I think um, festivals and celebrations are most important to communicate, connected the other religions.
Okay. Pumei?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In Vesak season, we are giving a Vesak card for our all the friends, and yeah, making Vesak lanterns with all the religion friends. Yeah, and some other religion friends are invited their festivals to us, and we join with them, and we also invited them, and then we have a rough idea how they celebrate it, um and we celebrate it. Yeah.
So when you have these celebrations, is this considered a day? Is it a holiday where children don't go to school? Or how is that when you have those holidays?
Yeah, we are not going to schools or work, and we have a holiday, and the poor day we have a holiday, and the mercantile days we have, then and Christmas for the schools are not working, and can meet both and together celebrate.
Okay.
So full moon day every month is a holiday in Sri Lanka. So that's
Every
something
month we have a
back
full
here.
moon day.
So every full moon day is a holiday in Sri Lanka. So that's a Buddhist, not only for Buddhists, everybody, it's a holiday.
Mhm.
That's something you don't have it here. Actually, Laura's question was, what do you guys do as Buddhists to help others? Like you give alms in the sense that you give food and things like that. What else do you do to help the needy other than giving food?
Yeah, we gave some these Gata books, and distribute the old old ones, and who sit in the foyer day, and and yeah, dancers are
Yeah.
organizing, and yeah.
When you feed, like when you're feeding people, so how do you come up with the money to buy the food and all of the things that you're preparing? How does that work? Does everybody contribute? Is it coming from one particular place?
Yeah, so we are giving out, we are organizers, dancer. Then we talk with our friends and family friends, and we collect, told them we are doing this, and some others are giving us money, use this for the dancer, and we do it like a group. So everyone's help us their money and the help, everything, and so they have. And so in the most of the temples, the uh, giving the alms giving for the seal, observe,
Observance here.
observing then making a group for the every month. Then they are collecting and the money and make a food in one house or if they can, their house or one house. Then they go and serve it
Okay.
in area like this. I don't know others, some places doing this or not, I don't know.
Okay.
The same here. We gave last month. We gave some food for the temple.
So
Okay.
here's one thing that's interesting, right? In Christians, they don't prepare meals and feed the priest, right? In Buddhist, in our country, Buddhist, that thing, giving alms to the monks, is very special, right? Especially when you have death anniversaries. Usually they invite monks, and then the monks come and chant something, and then they give. That's something very, very unique, I think. I don't think there is something like that in Christianity. You don't go and feed the priests and the fathers. You don't.
I mean,
Uh,
the closest thing to that would be if a priest becomes a monsignor, or it's like, say, monsignor's birthday, or some kind of celebration. Maybe a priest has been at a parish, a church for a long time. They might have a get together, the congregation, all of the people that belong to the church. They might have a luncheon or a party to celebrate that, but it's not something that's done
to
all
earn
the
merit,
time.
to earn
Right.
merit. The Buddhist
Right.
idea, giving alms to the monks, is to earn merit. That's a good thing. So that's
So wait, when you give alms to the monks, are you also, is it twofold? So are you giving alms to the monks, but also there's food for other people that are coming? Is it for everybody, or it's just preparing the food for the monks?
Not only monks. Sometimes we prepare the other people.
Okay.
other people in the sense
In
like
the-
poor people, people who can afford a meal. We are not talking about your family members.
Right.
Laura is asking, would you feed the beggars in Sri Lanka?
Yes.
Simon, so you do both. Yeah, so
Yes.
first you feed the monk, then you would feed
No,
the. I don't
some
think.
others are also doing this. Most of the peoples are with the monks.
I think most people feed the monks. They think it's you earn more merit by doing that. I don't know. It doesn't mean that they don't feed the poor. They do, but it's not like Simon. I don't think when I grew up, I don't think at my house the day that they fed the monks also fed the beggars. No, I don't think so.
So
So
wait,
that's very interesting.
so how often are you feeding the monks? Is this like a daily thing that people
No,
take turn? Oh, okay. So how often is this happening?
It's once a year. So it's have one day in a year
One.
or 2 days. So we
So look at it this way.
No. We
In a
we
day,
we every month we alms for monks.
Every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic idea is, right, let's say it's a small village. Let's say there are 100 families. They all divide. So basically the Buddhist monks, they get their meals from these villages, breakfast and lunch, because they eat twice a day. They do this here also in New Jersey and places like that, right? People food and cook and take the food to the monks. That they do that. That's the traditional way.
So in a community, say where there's a temple, and say there are people in the community that don't have food, is a temple a place that they could go to get help to eat? Or is there something else available for people who don't have food? I'm just curious how it works. So, like here in the States, they're called like soup kitchens, food kitchens, where people who are homeless or who don't have anything to eat can go and they can get a warm meal. It's not perfect because these places depend on just regular people to donate the funds. I mean, sometimes the state will probably give money too, but it's not perfect, right? Like we have homeless people and they don't have access to a lot of things, I'm sure. But I'm just curious there if it's kind of the same thing where some people might have access, some people don't. I'm just curious where they would go.
So Pumei and Wathsala, where you guys live, poor people don't go to the temple to get food. Correct me if I'm wrong. There is no dansal, daily dansal like a soup kitchen. No. This is the difference. Yeah, they feed the poor, but it is not something the Buddhist temples are. I don't think they are doing that. Let's say
Sometimes
have anything
homeless
to
people
eat.
are going to
Mm.
the temple and
They say
get some food. Sometimes, not most of the time. Sometimes they are going to the temple.
Say that again, Pumei. I didn't hear you.
some homeless people are going to the temple. Then they say give some foods to eat. Then monks are give them some foods. It's
Okay.
every time happens, and sometimes it's happened.
So it's not.
Especially in Poya days, I think.
Yeah.
It's not something they do it daily, as Pumi said. I don't think so. I haven't seen a Buddhist temple where they feed the poor every day. I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pumi and Wathsala.
Yes. No.
No,
Every
I don't
day,
think so.
yeah.
Every day, no. Maybe
Every
on
day, yeah.
Most of the homeless people are going to the some shops. Shop means like
They live in near street.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, they street and go to
So
the
they're begging begging in the street.
So they stand near places where people are.
Yes.
Yeah, they stand in front of a temple sometimes on 4 days where people go to the temple, right? You would see a lot of beggars in front of the temple or in the vicinity, because when people go to the temple, when they see someone, right, who's begging, they would give something.
Mm.
But
in street
yeah.
want to more money. They
Yes, they have
but accepted it. They said want a money.
Say that again, Pumei. They say what?
They want
earn more. They earn more money, isn't it?
The beggars they're talking about.
They earn money.
no. Then yeah, they are calling some peoples and
So people are giving them money.
People
Yes.
are giving money. If some
Okay.
people give the food for them, they are not accepted it.
Yes.
They
Sometimes
want,
they scold at us.
so they don't want food, they want money.
Money, yes.
Got it. Okay. I'm only bringing this up because it's something that I've become more aware about in this area, and it's something where there are people who don't have a home, so they are living in tents, and it's like a tent community. So you have, a whole bunch of people in their tents in nature, right? And they're outside, and a lot of people are complaining and they want them to move out. And so now they're being forced to leave this area. And I don't know where, if there's arrangements for them to go somewhere else, but it's just something that I'm more aware of, because especially here, I don't know Sri Lanka, but here it's hard, especially in the winter, because it gets really cold. So people are outside. And I'm not saying, I'm sure it's hard in Sri Lanka, because I'm sure it gets really hot, right? Like it's extreme temperatures. And I was just curious what the community does to help. I was just curious. That's all. But yeah.
Yeah, in the homeless beggars and homeless people are mostly sit on the street, and some bus stops they sleep there in the bus stop or a street. Uh, in Sri Lanka, I don't know. So we have no place to stay them, and peoples are not care about them. I don't know. I mostly I think the peoples are not care about them, and giving some foods or money for them, and the peoples are doing these two only, and yeah.
Okay. I would say that, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that that's pretty much how it is here too. I don't think people really, I don't want to say care, like, I think people care, but maybe people don't do things to show that they care, or maybe the problem is so big that people don't know what to actually do to help the situation. And Pumei, you had said, and Wathsala, that some people, they don't want food, they just want money. And so we have an example. Jay, you can say, in a neighboring town,
Yeah.
there are people who stand outside while the cars go by asking for money, but a lot of these people are making really good money, like more money than people who actually have a job working. So there's this kind of I think people get angry when they hear stories like that, but not everybody is like that. That's just an exception to the rule. You know what I'm talking about, right, Jay?
Yeah, I know, but I think there's a difference here and there. Most of the people, not all of them here, they have mental issues. Most of the people
Yes.
who are homeless, they have mental issues. This country does not pay any attention to that. In Sri
Correct.
Lanka, most of the people who beg, is not the mental issue, it's just poverty.
Right.
So
So,
that mental
right.
issues, drug problems in this country.
Right. So Pumei and Wathsala, like, how is it, like, here, Jay said, like, people who are homeless, they have, different categories, right? like you have people with mental health issues, then you have people with drug addictions, then you have people who are like the elderly community that they might get, you know, their social security, you know, they might get some money, but it's still not enough for them to actually have a home. They can't survive on it because it's too expensive here. So, you have like this mix of people. So it's really hard to know. It's hard to know when you're even approached, like who you're dealing with, who that person is, right? So I think some people sometimes are a little apprehensive or maybe scared a little bit because they don't know like who this person is. Like, are they okay? Are, you know, are they just, have they just fallen on hard times, or is there something, um maybe they're having mental health issues where they could be a danger to themselves or to other people. So in Sri Lanka, would you say that any of the homeless community or people, you know, homeless community there, are they, do you think some of those people have mental health issues or drug use issues, or no, it's not like that?
Now, some people have mental issues, and also some people have drug addiction, and some are very elderly people. Mm.
Not only mental issues in Sri Lanka, there are other health problems. You have seen probably people without legs and arms and this and that. That's a very tough thing to watch.
Sometimes people use that it's a trick. That sometimes, yeah, some people may say that he has a wound, but it's not. It's really it's a fake thing.
Oh, so the person really isn't hurt. He just is making himself look like he's hurt. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Then he bandaged his leg, and I'm begging.
He sat on the wheelchair
Yes.
and like saying
Sometimes they are carrying a baby.
yeah, they can't do work somewhere and give some money, then they are told.
Okay.
Most of the peoples are coming to the buses and saying their children's are their children's illnesses and the husband's illnesses and mother's illnesses, and they give us some ticket then and selling some a card or a bookmark something, and earn some money for their surgery or something like that.
So here's a question for both of you. Since now there's a new government in Sri Lanka, is more. So are they doing anything to help these people or solve this problem? Of every time I go there, that's one thing I cannot handle when I see people begging. That bothers me a lot. So have they done anything to?
No, they didn't.
They don't. That's not an issue. That's not something we talk about, right? Okay.
What do you mean it's not something you talk about?
Well, look at it. Everybody knows there's a problem. All you have to do is go
course.
out.
But
right?
this isn't, but it's not like unique to Sri Lanka, right? Like here it's bad. I mean, we have people who want to kind of cover up, you know, that homeless people even exist now, right? They just want to kind of shove them under the rug because, you know, it's just, you know, if there's too many homeless people in an area, it can depreciate the value of your home or the area, right? So people just want to kind of pretend like these things don't exist. Or when I say people, I'm talking about government. So I think people like in communities, I think there's a mix, right? Pumei, Wathsala, you said some people take advantage. Some people aren't being truthful. Maybe they are asking for money and they're not being truthful about their situation. But, you know, majority, I would say, I don't think anybody, I always say if somebody is, you know, asking for money at the corner, you know, even if there's like a 80% chance that they really don't need the money, but I just think why would they stand there? Like something has to be wrong, right? I just
My
think
attitude
it's
is I
sad.
just do something. I don't question. I don't try to
Right.
think whether this is fake. That's totally irrelevant to me. I mean, think of my first question is, would I do that if I am healthy mentally? If I have a sound mind, would I stand and beg? The answer is no. So there has to be something beyond, you know. So my attitude is, don't judge these people. Just give whatever you can, and you know, this will continue. You know that this is I yesterday I shared with you guys. There's this British guy who talks about etiquette. I don't know, Laura, whether you had time to see it. You know, how to eat, how to drink, this and that, right? So in one of his videos, he said there are 5 topics that you should avoid in polite conversation. Do you guys know the 5 topics? Yeah, usually we avoid when we talk to people.
I know
Anybody want
two.
to guess?
I know 2 of them.
What are they? What are the 2 to you?
Politics and religion.
Exactly. Politics and religion, they be people. This is not a conversation that you are going to have. Politics conversation, then of course, health issues, sex, and your finances. These are the 5 topics we don't talk in a polite gathering, right? But somehow or the other, we always end up talking about things. I mean, I used to, but I try not to do that anymore, especially politics. Now I let go. It's not, my saying is that I have told some of my friends, I would rather teach calculus to cows than talking politics with you guys. So they get the message.
So I'm curious because you said this. I know that Jay, you'll raise your hand. I'm going to raise my hand. Pumei and Wathsala, have you ever been at a dinner or a lunch where politics or religion or anything else has come up and there's been a fight at the table? I don't mean a physical fight. I just mean people started yelling at each other because of a topic. No?
In Sri Lanka, people don't argue about politics?
Really?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they do.
about the politics, and then they have like some politics group, no? Then they are fighting
Right.
for
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Well,
why it's best not to not to bring it up. Usually it's at like Thanksgiving or Christmas and there'll be a little fight.
see, look at it this way. Here, people don't get together every month. Most families, they see everyone maybe during Thanksgiving or Christmas. So in Sri Lanka, I think people get together more often than here, I think. So we can wrap it up, Laura. What else you want to do? Maybe we'll do this one more week, then we'll change the topic. I wanted to go over some of these words and see whether if you had to use these words, how would you use it? Anybody wants to try? If I say Jesus, and what would you say? Just give me a sentence. How would you use the word? I mean, there are anybody?
Christians follow Jesus' rules.
Oh, all right. Christians follow Jesus' teachings. Okay. Wathsala?
Jesus is son of the God.
Christians believe that he was this. He is the son. Okay. All right. Buddha?
We follow the Buddha's teaching.
Okay. Pumei?
Buddhist peoples are follow their story.
How would you use both words in a sentence?
Jesus and Buddha telling the world, telling the truth for the people. I don't know.
Wathsala?
Jesus and Buddha told us to how to live in peace.
Okay, let me try a sentence, see whether you guys understand. Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad, all three of them were illiterate. How do you understand that sentence? Jesus, the Buddha, and Muhammad were illiterate. You know the word literate, right? That means you can read and write. Illiterate means they. So remember, Jesus did not write anything. The Buddha did not write anything. The Muhammad did not write anything. They could not write. It is a fact. That's what That's what it is.
But that's
Okay.
But wait, illiterate is reading and writing.
Exactly. They neither could read or write. That's what people believe, because you don't have anything written by Jesus or the Buddha or Muhammad. No, we have a lot of things written about them, but none of them. They did not write a single word.
I just looked this up because I had to know. Sorry.
Yeah.
And actually, there are some places where it actually says he read aloud.
Of course, some people would say, Christians would say that.
No, like in the Bible, it says.
Bible says, yeah.
Yes.
Only time I remember Jesus writing something, scribbling something in the Bible, when the story of the prostitute, he scribbled something on the sand. Other than that, no. Okay. Heaven and hell?
Some people believe heaven and some people believe hell.
In hell. Okay. What is heaven to you? Do you believe in heaven and hell?
Yeah, I believe. So if I do a good things, and I'll go to heaven, and doing
Bad
things.
thing, you go to hell. How do you understand faith? What is faith to you?
Faith.
This is a very central thing in a lot of the Christians talk about faith, right? I don't know Buddhists use that word that often, because what is faith? When somebody says, I have faith, what is that? What do they mean by that? It is connected to belief, but there's a difference. Faith is what? You believe something without any evidence. right? Faith is most of the time you believe something without any. So that's the convert. Is it happening in Sri Lanka? Other religions try to convert people into their religions. Is it happening in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
What religion is trying to convert?
I think the two persons are in two religions. They got married, then they are from one religion sometimes.
Okay. So,
No,
but
no,
Pumei,
not only
between
that. Not only that. When we talk about conversion as a movement, let's say, are there any organization, whether it's Muslim or Christian, they try to convert people to their religion?
People.
Do you
like
think?
missionaries, like do you have missionaries?
Yeah. Okay. Who is a neophyte? All right, we'll think about that word. Here is a good word. This is what I meant by someone who has recently converted. Proselyte is someone who has been recently converted, right? The verb is to proselytize. See this verb here? Proselytize. If I try to convert you, let's say I'm a Christian, if I'm trying to convert you to, if I want you to become, let's say I'm a Buddhist and I want you and you're a Christian, if I try to do that, that means I am proselytizing. It's a very powerful word. To proselytize means you try to convert, or you try to attempt to convert someone into a different, your religion. Okay? How do you understand polytheism and monotheism and pantheism? What is polytheism?
Polytheism.
Poly means what? So let's break down the word. Poly means what?
Yes.
Poly means
believe one God.
polytheism?
Sorry. Believe not only one God, believe many gods.
Believe in, poly means many, right? Mono is one. So if you believe only in one God, that's monotheism. If you believe in many gods, that's polytheism. So give me an example. Who are the monotheists in this world who believes in only one God? They think there's only one God. Who are these? What are these religions? Christians, then
Islam.
Muslims, yes, and Jews, right? They believe there's only one God. Even though they think there's in one God, but they call that God by different names. Muslims call him Allah, right? For Christians, when they hear the word Allah, they think that's a separate God. No, it's not a separate God. It's the same God, that the same biblical God believed by the Muslims. What is pantheism? Pan means what? You have to look at certain parts of the world to understand. Pan means what? All. Pan-American, right? So if you believe in many, all, look at, there are people, right? They don't separate whether it's, pantheism is something practiced in Rome. Most people were, when they go to a different country, they would worship their gods as well. Okay, we can pick it up next time. I think you need to think of these words. That would help you to for general knowledge and things like that. Anything you want to add, Laura?
No,
Before
I
we
think that's
wrap
it.
up?
Well, So next week we're going to go through the rest of the list and then.
Yeah, then let them have a conversation
Yeah.
like we did the last, right? So next week, first we'll start, let Wathsala and Pumei ask questions. So I want you guys to come up with like 10 questions each. Send the 10 questions that you are going to ask. Then that way it would give you time to prepare. The other person would know what the question is, and we'll wrap it up next week. Okay?
Yes,
Laura,
sir.
you, let me stop. Hold on. Hold on, Laura.